There it is. Yeah, 2
This
seconds
meeting
ago.
is being live streamed.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Live in 4 minutes and 50 seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what you got. Is that what you got, Big Apple?
Yep. It says upcoming.
Aha.
It's StreamYards when we click.
So they put you on a chiller.
Live.
Oh, you guys are on live. I'm watching you on TV.
There you go. We're up and going. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our first live currency roundtable. And let me tell you, I'm very, very, very afraid. Frightened, actually, would be the right word. So we've almost got a full shelf. We'll start with, we're missing our friend Dustin Whitty this evening. I believe he got arrested for something in Arkansas, but I can't say that for sure. But there was a couple random phone calls earlier this morning, like at 3:30. With us, we have a first-time panelist, long-time loser, Big Apple. Welcome, Big Apple. How are you?
Doing? How are you, Dan?
So Big Apple is officially part of the panel, part of the family, and we're excited. Yeah. I'm excited.
I was always worried about coming up here. You know that, Dan.
Yeah.
Worried. And I remember the last time you invited me to come up, I said to myself, holy shit. I don't know if I'm a little worried because I didn't know whether if I was going to come up here to get clipped or come up here to talk about clips. I was a little worried. That's why I didn't show up. But I figured,
being in the
just bite the bullet now, call it a day.
The hospital probably didn't help. Plus,
no.
That's a Minnesota way. Forget about it.
That's right.
It's a really good way to do it. So we have Tyler with Currency Relics. We've got Stu Plubeck Currency. We've got Massive Basic Numismatics with Dean, Ontario 100. And we have a special guest. This is our special guest and our first subject of the night. And I am not monitoring comments right now, so I'm letting everybody else who's on there doing it. I don't know who's on here. Is anybody on?
Yeah, we got about 14 on.
We got 14 people.
Nice.
Fantastic. Good.
We got some good comments coming in too. I will say, Dan, it's still in the single mode. Do you want everybody to see us, or do you want us just to see one person at a time?
It would be actually good to show everybody at the same time.
Right, yeah, I think so too.
Because it's switching off like that.
Well, it's what I don't like about that is there's a delay to it.
Yeah.
It's not quite on. So, anyways, but this is pretty cool. Okay. This is really, really, really weird. So I'm not used to it. And by the way, if I need to show something, I've got the technology, we do have the technology to switch so I can, give you the thumbs up. I'd like to give Big Apple another finger, but I won't.
It's okay. It's okay. I got the bat here just in case.
Listen, you have to have thick skin to come onto this round table with all the ribbing. I love it.
It's okay. I'm used to it with Dan.
So I Dr. Wise was on one of the first lives that was literally just a cluster, let's be honest. And thank you, Dean, for being there for that. And then Ontario, we went live on like a Monday morning, and I'm like, holy crap, I'm live. I didn't mean to, but I think we got it figured out. I think we're on time, right? We're all here.
Yeah, we all are here. Now, what I would like to also know is people in the chat, are they able to hear each and one of us?
Yeah,
clearly
you can
clear. I know right now I'm having my mic actually bringing down to me, so I know, Dan, you sound a little further away for some reason than you normally do on your video. I don't know why, but maybe nobody wants to hear you today.
That's true.
I'm not that sure. So
I can't do anything about that right now.
Okay.
It's my normal mic that I've always used.
Ontario, you want to give a 5x1
and can you hear me okay?
No, you're good. Stuback?
Okay.
Yep. You guys, can you guys hear me? If you see me looking off in the distance, I'm actually watching my TV just beyond this so I can read all the comments. So
yeah.
Okay. And Masterpiece of Go?
Yep. They're saying that it's loud and clear on their end.
Okay.
That's what they're saying in the comments.
And I'm coming through pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm on cellular. We're getting hit with this northeaster or nor'easter or whatever they call it, and the temperatures dropped, and I am on cellular now, so I'm hoping this holds up.
It hit so hard you lost the T and the H.
Yep. let me Dan, I'm sorry to cut you off. Let me just say hello to a couple of people that are in the chat. I don't know. Do you see them or no?
I can see the people who have chat. I see Don McComb. I see
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
Convict
people.
Currency Stealing Deals.
Yep.
And
Convict
Sneaky Pierre.
Stealing Deals.
Yep.
Walker
Massachusetts.
Magnets.
Jeff Davis, Lola Davis. How are
Yep.
you? For collectors, by the way. Great seeing you here, by the way.
Awesome to see. We got Star ATL, Star Atlanta. He's a big douchebag. Love to see him.
Yeah. Got Walker
anybody
Magnet.
loves
What's going on,
Pierre.
buddy?
I know it. Sneaky Pierre, but one of the best handles. That's creepy, but yet it isn't. Don Sukup, if I'm saying it, Metal Man. It's like
Metal Man. That's
this
it.
is like breaking news. Oh, John, did I talk? Have we been talking about Tucson? Because I'm heading to Tucson in January, so for Ben the Coin Geeks show.
And we even have Retired Navy Rob in the house.
Don, I will, and Don McComb. Did I talk? Have we been?
Uh-oh.
What? Who? What?
Retired Navy Rob.
Okay.
Oh, that's R&R, Retired Navy Rob. Okay. Walker Magnet's in. Jeff Davis is in.
I'm trying to get the comments.
Lola,
I'm watching.
we're
Yeah, here you
complete.
go.
Lola Davis is in the house. We're complete.
Yep, that's it. When she's in here, that's it. It's all over.
Don McComb. I have to address Don McComb. Don, I saw it was you calling, so I totally blew you off. No, I've been out of town partially for the weekend, visiting grandkids. I just haven't had a chunk of time to take your call or call you back because I want to have a chunk of time to talk to you. So I apologize for that. But you are getting through to me, so I apologize. So that's as fair. This is great. So, all right, folks,
That's
I think
awesome.
we've got this is fantastic. I can't believe this.
Yeah.
So tonight it's weird because I can't watch the YouTube channel because it's a delay on it. So
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I'm watching.
all right, so we've got Dr. Wise on with us tonight as a guest. And Dr. Wise, it's timely for a lot of reasons, and he's going to help us be better collectors. And Dr. Wise is a clinical psychologist, behavior researcher, and I can't say it. Say it for me, Dr. Wise. Integrative. That's that word. Wow.
Get after it, buddy.
I know. Well, when you got a third grade reading level, that's
Mine's at the 4th grade, so I'm right there with you.
health consultant with nearly 20 years of experience studying human motivation, impulse control, and decision making. You can see why I wanted to have him on as a guest. He has a background including clinical psychology with a focus on why people do what they do, especially in the context of habits, passions, and desires. Sound familiar? Beyond the world of academia, he's an entrepreneur and collector himself with a deep appreciation for the artistry, history, and human story behind paper currency. Obviously, he's my brother from another mother on this one. Dr. Wise's goal, we're hoping to help bridge some little psychology collecting and with our reflections going on with that to help us understand why we collect, what drives us to do things we do, how we can find balance between our pocketbooks, passion with a little control.
Amen. Wow. Thank you. I mean, well, first of all, it's an honor and a privilege to be on here with you guys. You have to have thick skin in order to deal with the ribbing that goes on between everybody. I mean, I think I should have brought a bat with me as well, Big Apple, because you got to grab a seatbelt because it's going to be real. Anyway, I mean, I've been watching all of your channels because I don't make videos. I don't have the technical prowess to do that, but
I do.
We don't either.
When Stu said, listen, I heard Stu one time say, I think of the idea, I put the content, 15 minutes for the content, I don't edit it, and then I let it upload for 15 minutes. I was like, well, if he can do it, I can probably do it. So I am definitely going to make my first video. I can't tell you how good it's going to be, but I'm excited about showing off some of my collection, and if it helps some of the folks that are out there, then that's a win in my book.
Yeah, YouTube makes it easy for people to access stuff. I mean, I've got a channel. That's how easy it is. You guys know how technologically advanced I am with my pencil and paper, and I have notebooks everywhere with stuff written on them.
Oh, you're like
that's
me. I mean, I've got Post-it notes for my Post-it notes. I mean, I know enough to be dangerous. So, I just, who would have thought that YouTube, and we've said this before, different conversations I've had with you guys, that who would have thought that YouTube would be bringing people together? Numismatics as a whole is a multi-billion-dollar industry, but it can be a lonely space out there.
Yes.
You can feel like a lot of times you're kind of out there drifting in the water with a very crude roadmap, all by yourself. And and I think that's the power of this is that community, to bringing us together. And there's some real value to that. So hopefully we'll kind of learn a little bit more about why it is that we do some of the things that we do, and maybe put some guardrails on it, and tee up some of the common and maybe not so common collector behaviors. I mean, it takes one to know one. I'll start with that.
Well, and that's where I wanted to go, Dr. Wise, is like, why? I mean, are we on the spectrum? Are we crack addicts? I mean, why do people collect? Let's start at a basic level.
Well, I think, there's several reasons why people in particular collect, especially paper currency. First of all, I think there's an inherent connection to the history. I know for myself, when I see a note, it is a time capsule. It's a reflection of what was going on at that time in the culture and the artistry, even the economy at that time. Some of the notes that you guys have shared over the videos I've watched dozens, and I think to myself, God, where that note has been over its time period before it was finally encapsulated. The pockets, the road it's traveled, the stories it could tell if it could talk. I mean, I know myself, I'm really drawn towards those notes that capture pivotal moments, whether it was wars or those economic transitions and things that's a big part of the history. So when I found Dan's channel and started, I'm a big history buff. So for me, that note, a lot of the history behind it is so important, not just that aesthetic appeal. Pardon?
That was weird. I don't know where that came from.
I don't either.
Didn't say a word, but it looked like it picked it up from him.
Well, okay. I don't know what happened there either. It was something happened. I think another reason that people collect, is the scarcity and the exclusivity of it as well. The human brain really values rarity. If you back up and look at what are some of the underpinnings of why we want to own something that's unique, that it triggers a powerful sense of reward in the brain. Well, I think another reason that people collect is what we have right here, this community. It connects people. It connects them in a community. And I know that you guys talk outside of just the roundtables, and there's something very powerful about that, and discovering a note and celebrating it with other collectors that really value it. I mean, I'm really blessed in the sense like that my wife actually likes me and she'll listen to my thrill of oh wow, I found this great 1928 C that I've been looking for to fill a void, and she'll let me ramble on for 5 or 10 minutes, and then you kind of know when she's had her fill. But she comes from the background of being very interested in press. You know, she's had several letter presses over the course of us being together. And so that's been a common thing for us is, you know, I got involved because of my love of currency into understanding how the currency was actually printed. So over the 15 years we've been together, we've collected at least a half dozen different presses. You know, here's one of our recent babies, a golden jobber. This one, I like to call her Bertha, but and that's one of the smaller ones. That is the larger one. The flywheel on this just alone weighs about 300 pounds. The press itself weighs about 3,000 pounds.
Wow.
Incredible. The it's kind of like going back to analog, right? You know, we're so connected with these phones, these portable dopamine pumps that we carry around in our hands. But to be able to step back in time and utilize a piece of equipment that was built in 1880, I mean, and have it still working, we use it regularly to be able to do a variety of different prints. You know, you're able to lock up that, type in that chase, lock it into it, and hear that press running is just incredible. So for me, that was a big part of having the connection to the history of how currency was printed, the process behind it.
By the way, you got to get a hold of some obsolete plates and start making.
Yes.
Well, listen, that's it. I've been very fortunate to get a hold of several of American banknote companies' press plates, allegorical figures, different numerical numbers, counters. And to be honest with you, there is nothing like looking at those plates. The amount of time that those engravers had taken to carve into that plate is incredible. I'm just awestruck by it. So I have used it on the actual press itself, and it's just amazing. It really is. So that's been something I've been able to share with her, that crossover between that. And it's been really, I think one of the other reasons that people collect is because there's a lot of emotional fulfillment to it. The hunt, the research, the acquisition of it. I mean, don't you feel a lot of joy? I feel a little bit of stress relief sometimes, maybe a sense of a little bit of a mastery. I mean, there's a lot of emotion wrapped up in that as well. I mean, look at the detail.
Right. I mean, just that's what I'm saying here is, if you were to get something like this simple, I'm sure these aren't cheap, but just to have it, and again, we all know this was engraved by hand backwards.
Yeah.
The amount of time, it's not days or weeks, it's months in
right.
many cases. And you start to think about.
People are always wondering why we aren't having the new edition of money come out. And you're right. It's not something they can just do tomorrow. It's not printing. It's engraving. There's so much to it. And it's not just doing it once. They've got to make dozens, if not hundreds of these plates. So yeah, it's a lot of work.
Every time there's a presidential change and there's a new Treasury Secretary, you think about the 1928 series and the amount of times those signatures changed across those districts.
Oh, yeah.
It is a Herculean task that they went through to change those, and the speed that they did. I mean, let alone when they went into the national banknote series, and you've got tens of thousands of banks now. It's just, there's something about that is so impressive that is really timeless.
For Collector just put up hoarding is a hobby. And it's funny because that's kind of how I view collecting. I mean, yeah, currently I've been collecting currency for the last 10 years or so. But prior to that, I've got 750 DVDs on a shelf over here. In the 90s, I collected baseball cards. I have probably 100,000 baseball cards in my garage at some point. So yeah, is hoarding. I don't want to say that I'm a hoarder. I'm not a hoarder. At least I don't think I'm a hoarder. But I am a collector for sure. I've always been a collector. But does that mean I have a screw loose?
If you've got one, Stu, that's loose, I've got three that's loose. And we all do. We're all gonna, come off the rails because, look, I mean, I was in short pants. My mom was dragging me to estate sales and garage sales and exposing me to her collections. She was very passionate about collecting, China, Blue Willow, Pink Depression, the glassware and the things that she would collect. I mean, I was exposed to it very early on, so I guess it's in my DNA. So I understand what you're saying, that maybe that collecting desire, it's not exclusive to just currency. Maybe it's evolved over time too. I know for me, it certainly has. And I really, really love the history of whether it's currency or it's skeleton keys or it's old locks. I've got collections of a variety of things, and I have no desire to get rid of any of them.
And that's what's funny. Like, the Twin Cities here in Minnesota had the biggest, show that we have. They actually call it the money show, not the coin show.
We'll take that as a win.
That's a win. That is
Right.
Yep.
Right.
and I'm always impressed with how many currency tables they have in there. But anyways, yeah, I mean, but still, the currency dealers were, like Stu. I'm reflecting off your comment of, hey, I'm a collector, and so two dealers like, what do you got to trade? I'm like, I'm not. I don't really sell notes. I mean, it's ironic. I am curating right now, but it's not going to be anything big that I'm going to sell. It's just, extra things. But no, I really, maybe trade up, I guess. Maybe they meant that. I don't know. But
yeah, most collectors sell a little bit, especially when they upgrade, or something falls out of favor and they're more interested in something else, so they'll sell it off.
Curate and prune.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of touch back to like why we collect and why I collect. And I've kind of realized one thing about collecting, especially, currency. It's given me, and I've kind of created a time capsule on my channel. It gives me the sense of long-term accomplishment, no matter what happens, with boxing, sports, with the military, promotions, new job, you move, everything. It's a sense of progression that I have over time. And it's something that I know that it's like this big nest egg.
Yeah.
Something that isn't going away, something that I've curated, something that I've made progress on for all this time.
Good. I love that.
With your channel especially, because you've put it together just a few videos a year over the course of a number of years, you can really see your progression. I mean, I can go back through my channel, and every time I see something, every time I get something new, that of course triggers a new video. So yeah, I've got the same progression. I get to see what I collected, when I collected it. So I understand that feeling. That's a cool feeling, and one of the benefits of YouTube, because we get to just go back into these time capsules and relive those events.
Yes.
Well, and I heard you say that one time, Stu, that you'll go back and watch your videos because that's how that mastery occurs. You're able to learn it so well that you can then teach it to someone else as well.
Yeah, I would.
He's
in
really
the earlier videos, yeah.
You're into self-inflicted punishment too.
I get used to hearing myself talk, so then I don't mind it so much. I can talk longer.
You put me to sleep. I mean,
you're not the only. I've got a number of people that said your voice is very soothing to listen to before bed. And it's like, well, maybe I should do some, what is it, ASMR or whatever?
Yeah, ASMR.
So what is it that anybody else have a comment like Tyler?
Well, I gotta wait. Dan, I gotta wait for shit to fall off the back of a truck, so I can't really just go out and purchase shit like that. So
Yeah.
I'm always either that or I'm gonna rob the old lady for her money so I could go buy my currency.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At one point, collecting currency became a really big. I was about to tell my wife, listen, let's grab some black bags and let's start collecting cans. We got to do something. 'Cause I gotta get money here.
That's right.
This hobby is like crack.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, it's like crack.
Yeah.
Like Dr. Wise.
Yeah.
Well, it activates that dopamine reward system. It's
Doc,
so
let me tell you.
it affects it when they've done those MRIs and the PET scans. It lights up the same parts of the brain as gambling or gaming, and sometimes the anticipation of the acquisition, the hunt, often releases more dopamine than the actual ownership.
That is true.
Right? Have you ever felt that a bit of a letdown? You're like,
oh, forgot about it. I can't even tell you right now who I'm fighting with. Most Dan, you know who I'm fighting with PMG.
Yeah. Well, you should have never cut that Disney note out.
I love Disney. I love Disney Notes. I can't go to watching Disney Notes.
Too, but the chance of you getting that 65 back, $1.
I don't know. I gotta tell you. But first thing I just want to tell everybody in the chat, hello, that we've been missing a lot of the comments. I've also been dropping a lot of people's channels inside. So you guys, when you see the channel there, you guys can click on and sub to those individuals because
give them a sub.
We want to make the comic currency. What am I thinking about that? the what was
community.
Thank you. Currency community very large, as well as the coin community, like Dan is part of. No, Dan is part of here. So yeah, so you see a lot of people that I'm trying to drop people's links, but people that have.
I'm just going to mute his ass right now for saying that. All right.
I saw Emmanuel's workbench chime in there. Hey, how you doing, Emmanuel? Good to see you. And happy Canadian.
I mean, it's so great that we can have a conversation and have people from around the world collectively come together, listen to what we're doing, and they're interested. They're excited about this. There's so much benefit that comes from collecting that I do believe that when you get it 36,000 feet, it outweighs any potential negatives. And I think if you're aware of what some of those maybe not so common behaviors are that could lead you into some destructive behaviors, that's half the battle, right? I mean, the common behaviors are what we already know, researching, looking at past auctions, looking at prices, checking out results of things, tracking eBay, checking out Heritage, maybe it's Stacks, looking at those listings. I sometimes look daily because I have a top 3 list for my annual of notes that I'm looking for. Maybe it's you're building a thematic set, it's denomination or series or
I'm sorry, Dr. Wise, you got something going on in the background. I can't unmute Big Apple.
Oh boy.
So we got me and him going back and forth. So we have our first technical glitch here. I know. Well, that's true. I want to put him in waiting room and replace.
He's back. He's back. He's good.
There, he's back. He's back.
You're back.
Big Apple.
Yep.
Thanks,
was I coming through okay?
Yeah,
you were.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
Because it kept on asking me to ask to unmute. I'm like, did you press something, Big Apple?
No. It's just...
All right. Sorry about that. I won't do that again tonight.
He's got gaslit.
And I apologize, Dr. Wise. That was
no. Listen, I mean, technical challenges along the way. That's just part of it.
If that's the worst problem we have, believe me, keeping him on mute would not have been a big deal.
What would you guys say about these? Are these normal behaviors or not normal? I'm going to give you a couple. I want you guys to give me your opinion.
All right.
Okay. emotional or stress related purchasing, using collecting currency as an outlet or a coping mechanism, is that a common or a not so common behavior?
Guilty as charged.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like common. It's probably common.
Well, I don't know if it's common or uncommon. I just know I'm guilty.
Accumulating duplicates due to excitement rather than strategy.
Oh,
Do I have to show my duplicates?
that's one thing where we talk about this, by the way, on a sidebar on Dr. Wise here. You know, it's funny, and I'm now no offense to Morgan collectors or anybody coin collectors, but it's like, you know, I've heard folks like the Black Eagle, I'm gonna get, there you go. But you know, you sell it to scam people on eBay. You know, that's what you do.
Right.
You know, you're like, hey,
Oh, no.
buy this for $8,000. But you know, Morgan's right. You got to get every year, and you got to get every mint mark of that year. Where even you, Big Apple, you'll cross over to currency, and you'll say, okay, I don't need every signature. I just need an example of one.
Right.
Taylor, in the way you collect, you just said on your last video with Ontario, it's like, you know, I don't need. I do want this for the 1880, you know, legal tenders. You're like, I want a variety of seals. Other times you're like, yep, red, blue, don't care. And I don't know if that's the example of that. And we go back and forth depending, I think, what's on our eye appeal. I think what appeals to us or find interesting or achievable. That's the other problem with some of the notes.
Right.
They're just not achievable to get those varieties.
Well, I have a question along that same line, and I think it's kind of been said, but not like this. Why do some people want multiples of the same thing? And let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. I see this a lot with nationals in conversations I've had with other collectors. And, you know, we'll be having a conversation and we'll be talking about a city or particular national that there's 25 known. And invariably somebody will say, well, I have 7 of them, you know, or I have 9 of them. I'm not exaggerating. And I'm like, why?
It's to prove me wrong, because I say if you have 25 of anything, it's not rare.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But even if you know, but yeah, I mean, I get that. You know, why do you have to have 9 of them? Why?
Yeah. Is it a control thing? I mean, I was asking the doc.
I think it comes down to maybe 4 different, you know, it falls into 4 different baskets. Scarcity and time pressure, the quote, there's only one left, or the auction's ending soon, right? You know, it kind of hijacks your fear of missing out. It hijacks your rational control part of the brain. Or, you know, social proof, right? You know, you see other collectors bidding on the same item over and over, and it increases the perceived desirability of that note. And the next thing you know, they've got 7 of them. Yeah. Maybe it's an emotional substitute. That would be the third reason I think you could fall into this trap, is that collecting can temporarily fill an emotional void or stress. But when it becomes 7 times, you may have to step back and go, am I collecting because of the rarity of the note and that this is something that scares, or am I filling, you know, a void here? Right. And then the last thing is like loss aversion, you know, that fear of missing out overriding your logical reasoning.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but that does cross over, you know, okay, so with that, Dr. Wise, going back to why do we feel the need to collect? Okay, there's the one. All right, we've got the, just timely, right? The educational series.
Yeah. I
have a FOMO, and I was lucky enough that it was a new purchase for me. I just picked up the 5. But for me, why wasn't the 1 and 2 just good enough? Why? Why do I feel compelled to, at some point in time, get that 5, to have that on my bucket list?
Well, I think that's 3 different things, isn't it?
Well, I know, but why? You got an example of an educational series. Move on. Why do you need the 2, 5, 10, 20?
Because they're
pretty. Need the whole set.
Why? That's what. Yeah. Right. But I think I think you also answered simultaneously your Morgan question, because that's what people like. They want to have the set. So that's why they collect the whole set.
Is that
you don't have to do that. You're absolutely right. You could just say, hey, I just want $1 notes from, whatever, silver, gold, or not gold, but silver or legal tender or whatever, and you could just collect the dollars if you wanted to do that. But I think with like the educational set, that's a sought after set that people want to have all the denominations to that set.
Well,
and it just makes sense.
I mean, you're making sense too, Dean, but I'm being somewhat facetious. But that's where it comes into the danger point of, okay, budget problems.
Well, back to Dr. Wise's point, I think he said it when we were recording. That's when you want to make that budget and you want to say, hey, this quarter of the year or this year, I'm going to save up to buy that really big note.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk more about that, Dr. Wise.
100%. I mean, for one of the best strategies for controlling the impulse, right, is creating a monthly or an annual collecting budget. Treat it as an investment portfolio. Decide on an allocation per category. Okay, I'm going to put 40% on rare notes. I'm going to put 30 on the mid tiers. I'm going to put 30 on this. You know what I mean? So you're already setting up a plan ahead of time. It's kind of like having a wish list versus a shopping list, right?
Yes.
And this, you know what I mean? Like, it's like,
yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
Keep a wish list of priority notes and stick to it. Avoid diversions, unless they fit your long-term goals. So going back to that educational series, is your long-term goal to complete that set? If it's no, then you're okay with having just the 5. I think what helps is to have a pause button. Here's what I do. I don't engage in the auctions on eBay because they are a trap for making impulsive moves. I wait 24 or 48 hours before I make a big purchase. Above a set threshold, everybody has a different one. If it's a 500, 1,000, 1,500, whatever it is, this breaks that impulsive dopamine cycle for people, including myself. I practice what I preach. I mean, I also feel like having accountability partners. Every one of us on here can pick up the phone and go, hey, am I in my wise mind or am I in my emotional mind here? What am I in my common sense corner? Or am I just batshit crazy over here? Having an accountability partner can really help with not making a decision that can put you in a bad spot. Separating your collecting funds. I've started using a dedicated collecting account. So it helps me kind of budget. Everybody does this differently. And, maybe you do it quarterly, maybe you do it at the first of the year, but I've found that to be very helpful in physically separating the emotion from the action. You follow?
Yeah.
And it really has helped me not overspend, because it's really easy to do, especially, you get into some of the large notes. I mean, Dan, you could have spent a lot more this weekend, but you came in, it sounds like, with a really good plan of what you were looking to check off your list.
Well, not having the money helps too. You only got I literally not, going around the neighborhood like Big Apple's protecting people, extorting money from,
I'm looking to do the next Lufthansa heist. What are you talking about? You kidding me?
But it does get into, to me, it all comes down to one simple statement that we've all said, and it's still good advice. Read the book.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Read the book.
Specialize,
curate. And Dr. Watt, setting aside a separate account is actually kind of brilliant to say, that's another separator, another wall to say, this is what I've got. But it does, you are faced with things, and I'll give my little story. We had a good weekend this weekend with the money show.
Yeah, you got to tell your story, Dan, because some people in the comments said that they witnessed a very heated discussion.
I got to hear the story.
Some people saying that they saw you there, ready
saw
to
you there.
There's pictures, there's video floating around.
I wish there was, because then they'd So, you go to my strategy of going to show, same as Stu. You go there, you do the circle, you see what's out there, and if something catches your eye, you may or may not ask to see it, but you probably don't most of the time. But I mean, things were jumping out that I have my list and I have my bucket list that's always on it, and so one of those things on the bucket list that I was lucky enough, I'm gonna see if I can do this. I know I can do this.
Here goes the whole show.
All right. Sorry, this is for rookie nights.
I don't know. Are you guys picking this up right?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like that happened, but it didn't happen right away. I had to look at it, and then I had to go around the room to see what else was there, because I had my list, and I got to see what's in the house. So, anyways, I go around, and this is the real story, and that was great. Thank you. That was from a couple local collectors that are kind of pocket dealers, by the way, that show up at the show. Fair price. But I go to this guy, and here's his table, and one of my bucket list notes is a 1914 $100 FRN blue seal. Let's just clarify that. And there it was, and it was a good price, nice note, fair price. I would have paid more for it, by the way. I expected to pay more for it. So I don't walk in there like Big Apple because he just did a crack deal and he's got $6,000 in cash. All right. I don't do that. I don't like carrying cash. I'm not comfortable carrying that much cash. So anyways, I asked, could you take electronic payment? And the old guy, as soon as he turned around, I'm like, you're one of those. You're one of those guys. And he also, and he's like, we don't take that, blah, 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 right? He had that attitude right off the bat. And I'm like, well, would you take a check? I'll take a flyer on it. I'll write you the check. I'll trust you to send me the note. No, hard cash only. And I'm like, he was such a dick that I'm just like, you know what? I'm just like, I couldn't say, I'm not going to sit there and take it. I'm going to say, well, obviously, okay, you don't want to report certain things like taxes. You're trying to scam, whatever you want to do. You don't want to report anything, which is whatever.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, whatever you want to do, I don't care. But you know what? You just lost out $1,100. I mean, it's just that simple. And I'm going to go on the rant, and you guys know I've been on this rant before. That do you expect? And I said to him, and he said something else that was like, yeah, typical guy, way to welcome people to the currency collecting industry and hobby.
Yeah.
Dan, I think the guy's looking at you right now live.
Good. That's great. But yeah, Sneaky Pierre, it wasn't Sneaky Pierre.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I did wind up saying to him, I go, so you expect me to carry around $4 or $5,000 cash to buy something from you when it's available with a click? I'm sorry, but it's like, it's right here. It's right flipping here. I can give you the money with PayPal, through Vendro, through Zelle, whatever. Take a credit card. Oh, but that leaves a transaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stu, you fly around the world with that case, and but you like body cavity searches, so I don't know. I mean,
I did get pulled over and brought in the little room at the Vegas airport when I had my singles.
I bet. So, anyways, that's the complaint from me, and I'm sorry for my rant, but it was more of the attitude, and that attitude is still there, and I'm like, just hurry up and die and get out of the
Wow.
I'm just sorry. Get out of the currency business. You obviously hate it. Unhappy.
This guy over here.
You bring up a great point. Imagine if you were the new guy that it was your first show. You're excited. You're over the moon to be there. First show. I mean, you guys remember what that was like, your first one. I mean, it's like a kid in a candy store.
Yes.
And to be greeted with that, that's a big turnoff. And that does nothing for our hobby. That does nothing for our collective community.
I mean, where else do you spend $500 to $5,000 and get treated like dirt?
Yeah.
Tell me. I mean, it's just like, it
Yeah.
used to be the stamp table, but they killed themselves off. So, whatever. I don't know. I digress. So we all know that. I mean, it's like, but just trying to control ourselves, being the curating, and I didn't, I'm curious how we all learned how, what do we, it wasn't overnight, was it? I got burned. I had to made a few mistakes, more than a few,
Oh yeah, sure.
going into, a money show or a coin show, and, Ontario's favorite, out of this line from Ontario, you buy the first thing that you see.
Mm.
And yeah, then the rest of the shows you're at a museum.
Got a
Just
museum,
for a quick
not
show.
the show anymore.
Yep.
The random accumulation. Yeah.
right. And
Right.
that's the other thing, the random, yeah, Dr. Wise explained that with what's like, because it's like,
It boils down to curation over accumulation. Impulse control leads to cohesive, theme-driven collections rather than random accumulations. I look at it through the lens of financial readiness. Look, at the end of the day, the better I can make my impulse control, and I only know that it can get better because I've been in that place where I've made impulsive decisions and picked up a note that I had no need to buy.
yeah,
I look at it in terms of financial readiness. When disciplined collectors can act decisive, be decisive when that holy grail note appears, they're ready, right? Because they've stayed focused. They've stayed focused on retaining the higher historical and market valued notes, or the ones that have personal significance to what it was that they had as a goal that they set earlier on.
Right.
so
And
go ahead, I'm sorry.
yeah, I have an example with that because in the last few years I've bought some like truly expensive notes,
Yeah.
and in order to be able to do that, I've had to go without for extended periods and save up. And it's difficult to do, but sometimes if you try and almost like distance yourself from looking at auctions all the time,
Yeah.
and you just
Yeah.
keep the faith and focus on what your true goal is, stay disciplined, then you can save up for when when that opportunity arises.
That's
So like,
intentional collecting. That
yes,
deepens the appreciation for it. I feel, it's like looking at satisfaction and mastery. It's the art of achievement versus the science of being fulfilled. There's something that you're right. You're got a lot of fulfillment. Yeah, you had to sacrifice. I'm not going to look at those auctions. I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to have tunnel vision on what it is. I'm going to intentionally collect to deepen my appreciation for those notes. So I think it's really sometimes how you position and posture it.
Well, and it's also, don't go to the candy store. I mean, it's like,
Yes.
already, you want it, don't do that. But another way, I mean, it's like, for me, I like, Dr. Wise, how you put it, where it's like your budget. It's like, okay, I'm setting aside this much for the big notes, this much for this much for that. And I personally need to buy something on a regular basis. And that's why I've got these eclectic, weird, which I think, I mean, right behind me on the wall back there, 1985 to 1989 New Zealand notes, baby. Everybody wants them. But to me, and like Big Apple, your 1394 Nationals, that was it's a great collection. Talk about curating, and just watching that happen has been super fun for me. And Ontario, you got into the $10 bill, and now you're on the 1880 silver certificates that, going as far as you can, right?
Right.
And it's just, those are the things that I think can help guide us, is what are you collecting that makes sense. I know that Star Atlanta, Lee, he is just going down the rabbit hole of Alabama obsolete currency, and it's a fabulous collection. and just staying staying in the lanes on that. So,
and that's where, when you start to really hone that impulse control, it makes for better collectors. It gives that greater control means better financial sustainability, right? We can stay in the game longer, and it enhances your long-term enjoyment. And I think it, for me personally, raise your hand if you agree, it prevents collector remorse.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I want to go. There's been a couple good comments I've been running through.
Let's do it.
Just because of reflections about what we're talking about, what folks. Well, this is really good TV here.
Here, I'll stall while you're reading.
Yeah, please.
I like the idea of setting aside portions of your budget for certain things. I had to keep 10% of my budget for new pants because I always had money burning a hole in my pocket. I am like Dan. I have to buy something all the time. I got to get something. So I understand that need and that want. And yeah, you end up with a lot of really interesting, unique pieces. But I also thought it was neat how Dan just rattled through, 8 or 10 different collectors, and we could all identify exactly what he was talking about. This person collects this, and this person collects this. Like Ontario said, specialize. Because when you do specialize, then you can go through the auction, and you don't have to look up every single item to find out if it's a fair price.
Right. You just know.
You look up the stuff you specialize in, and you can get through it so much quicker and find those bargains.
Right. So Don McComb, he's like, I really don't view my collections as obsession. With me, it's a challenge. No matter if it's currency, aviation, firearms, I don't like things that are unfinished. You just have to set limits. Speaking here, I'm a national collector, and I don't try to hoard all one type, even though he does. But he does it for a very different reason. He will be on at some point because unbelievable collection and very eclectically cool. Emmanuel, the satisfaction of completeness, of getting something done. Hey, Emmanuel's Workbench from Canada. Love your show. Flying Camel, I collect currency. Soviet chest sets. Wow.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Emmanuel says he does have a separate bank account for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of people said that, which is good. Smart.
I think it reinforces the reputation as being disciplined, as a disciplined collector rather than just,
an impulsive collector.
Yeah.
And by the way, Martin Bowen, I'm not aggravated. I'm extremely bitter. No, and Dean, or for the new collector, I mean, I can't remember who brought it up. I thought you did, but that is it. You guys know that. I mean, we all do. It's the Big Apple. You brought it up earlier. We have to keep currency collecting strong. We don't want to be philatelists, and it's just, for me, it's like every wall that's put up, it just really burns me. And we should share.
Well, it's damaging the hobby in a sense.
And it's so unnecessary.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Walker Magnet just asked a really good one about the whatnot craze. I know, Stu, you've talked about
the hobby.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead, Stu. I know you've had quite a bit of experience with whatnot.
Okay. Well, first of all, out of all of us on here, how many of you guys were approached by whatnot? I was approached by whatnot.
Before you go, I think it's time we're going to get off our subject of Dr. Wise. So we're going to kind of end that section and go with the comments, by the way.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No. That's a good point. Yeah. I'm getting bored with Dr. Wise anyways.
Well, he could still jump in with some gems here. Yes, come on. He's here.
Yeah. He is a very experienced collector, by the way.
Yeah.
But so let's just open this up. Let's start reacting and let the viewers do. So Stu, back to you. I apologize for that.
Okay, yeah. When Whatnot started with currency, they approached me. I know they approached you, right, Dan? Mm-hmm. And I'm sure there was others that they approached as well, wanting us to sell mass quantities of rare, and you can't sell mass quantities of rare. That's an oxymoron. So I couldn't promise them any kind of show where I could have that much stuff on there. And I started watching the stuff that were making Whatnot episodes, and a lot of it was just the fake fancy serial number crowd trying to promote that stuff being rare and valuable, and it's not. And I don't understand how a lot of it still exists, because a lot of those, you've got 15 or 20 people watching one seller, and that one seller is trying to sell 300 items over the course of 2 hours, but he's selling these 3 items to the same 10 people week in and week out.
There's 148 people on, right?
Yeah. So I mean, how are the people buying this thinking that it's ever going to be worth anything if this guy's selling hundreds of them every week and they're buying hundreds of them every week? So, yeah, I kind of scratch my head on that. But yeah, as far as Whatnot goes, I like the idea of it being a live eBay, but it just doesn't seem practical to be able to sell quantity of rare.
Yeah.
Big Apple, I know you kind of helped me. Me and Dean were on a call and pulled you in because Big Apple's been on more than us.
No, I've actually bought something off of Whatnot. That $10 red seal.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so first of all, Whatnot, it's Stubeck. I agree. You could only buy, I think, silver certificates and nothing that's really that expensive. Because when you get into those really high-end notes, they put a timer. You got to sit there. You got to 10 seconds, guys. What do you mean 10 seconds? You can't give me 10 seconds to purchase this note. You got to turn it around. I got to fall in love with the note.
Right.
What are you nuts? What are you crazy? I'm gonna sit there and you're gonna charge me $1,000 or $2,000, and that's not gonna make sense. Those why buying big notes like that on Whatnot, to me, it's not. Now, I did get one of the notes, but when I checked out the guy that he put up, I saw him on eBay. When I found him on eBay, he had his number. I called him on the phone. I called him on the phone. Well, that was I made an offer. He couldn't refuse.
I knew that was.
I tell you, the guy was a nice guy. I actually forgot to text him and let him know that we were going to be live. He is a great guy. He has an eBay, and he will work with you to get rid of the notes.
I believe the term you're looking for. He was a good fella.
The guy was good. The guy was, and I'm not going to say I hit him over the head, but I did hit him over the head because the guy was a good price. You couldn't beat the note. I mean, I would have been real Stugatz not to know that note was not a good price. Anybody, you guys would have bought this note 1, 2, 3. There's no way you guys would have not bought it. I don't want to discuss the price because then somebody's going to be sleeping with the fishes, and I don't want nobody to, get hurt tonight. I want to see you guys later on. But anyway, it was a good note. I'm going to tell you it was a good note, and I showed it, I displayed it, and it was a good price. I mean, probably the price might have even been on it, but he gave me a better deal than what it was. So I took it.
Right. For what I've taken,
I'm sorry, Dan. I don't think Whatnot is good to buy no currency there. Yeah. I know they have it displayed. I know they show it, but the auction's too quick. It just doesn't give you time to look. You gotta.
You can't fall in love with the note. It's not conducive.
Yeah. There's been a couple auctions that I've seen. Now, I'll be fair, and they're few and far between though, where and I follow a couple of them. I try to keep up, being old guy. But it's like, okay, they put their notes up. You know what's coming in the auctions in 2 days. All right. And that's where I'm like, okay, it's an FR, whatever. It's in this condition. I could do the research on the pricing. And I don't mind that if it comes up and I only got 15 seconds, I'm either in, am I not? But I know what that, and this is larger value notes. I know the value of the note. I know if I want it or not. I've seen a decent picture. But anybody that's buying anything over $100 on whatnot, and you can't. The video's horrible. I tried to bring up.
I mean, go back. You can't.
I tried to bring it up and mute the sound on whatnot because there's this auction going on. It's just like, yeah. I mean, how do you do that? I'm just trying to like, yeah, this, that,
Yeah.
and it's just what?
It's
It's
that's why if you're looking through Dan, sorry to cut you off.
no,
If you're looking through a note real quick, and really these are just more the, like let's say maybe a black eagle. You've been looking through black eagles, I know a guy that's in the chat right now. The guy collects so many black eagles, it's unbelievable. I don't want to mention his name because he's in the chat right now. So bottom line is you should already know what the price is on a black eagle, right?
All right.
It's common sense. You've already know what a 30 should be valued at. All right. Somewhat with the ballpark. So if you know the guy on Whatnot is doing, $400 on a note that's 300 or $279, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
And a
So
lot of times they're going to say, well, Whatnot
it's a
gets
little
their
too quick
cut.
for me. It's
Yeah. They say Whatnot gets their cut or eBay gets their cut. Well, you should know that before you're trying to sell stuff on those sites. I mean, whenever I sell anything on eBay, I'm well aware of what eBay is going to take on that. So I keep that in mind before I purchase anything that I plan on reselling there. You don't punish your customers because eBay is going to charge something. You should know that in advance.
right, exactly. Whatnot, by the way, they do have stores. I have heard through the grapevine that they, that it's just like an eBay store. It's just like a web store. So it may be worth checking that. I have, problem that I have with Whatnot is trying to figure out, and again, maybe I'm old, but I'm not that old.
Yeah, you
Huh?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are.
Thanks. I mean, it's like, okay, all right, well, let's go there. Let's have a little bit of fun here.
Well,
Fun. I'm on Whatnot right now. So I'm logged in. That's all great. And I have that I know are some stores that I have flagged. It's like, does this guy have a store? Paper Money. I don't know if this is him or not, to be honest with you. It's like if he does have a store, Premier Shop. I don't know. What's a Premier Shop? Can I buy something? No. I mean, this is where I'm like, how do anybody know? How do I get? I know I've saved
I've
some.
never been there.
How does that work?
Right. I'm just.
Yeah. I'll be honest, Dan. I'm consider myself fairly young. It looks chaotic to me. It does. It just it does. I don't get the.
I mean, there's
like
a
brain
baby.
rot.
There's what? A shark.
Yeah.
There's some notes.
And how do I get to their home?
Well, like some people put in the comments some of the things that they're collecting, like a 1914 FRN series, 1922 gold certificates. Like, where would you find that here? Like, I can't even. Like, can you type that into search?
They don't start. You're not on yet, Dan. It's 27 minutes before it starts.
I know I'm trying to get to see if they have a store or not.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like
do $100. Do $100. Well, actually, just do that and see.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is so. What is
that his?
So you can buy that now. It looks like.
Yeah.
If you wanted that note.
Well, this might be, if we pulled my head out of my ass.
That's okay. I don't know if I just was curious. That's what Martin's looking for 100. Oh, there's one. Yeah.
Not Minneapolis. So.
That's what I searched for it. Nope.
But it's a buy it now. So it looks like, you can do some buy it now. You don't have to do the chaotic auctions, the impulse buys.
Mr. Waldo's store. Mr. Waldo's, here's his store. So
there you go.
So I don't know why it's so hard to figure this out.
Exactly.
Big Apple. Yeah, baby. Convict currency. You're looking for that Dumbo note. I know you are.
There it is, right there, the Mickey Mouse.
Dumbo. I'm not making fun of people for this. I honestly, you collect whatever floats your boat, folks, but I just don't want to see it on Heritage and spend a half hour going through Disney notes. But anyways, I mean, this is like, I don't know, is this a fair price? $50? $50. Oh, it's currency.
No, they're just showing you sleeves.
Currency sleeves.
Oh, sleeves.
They're showing you sleeves there.
That's an false advertisement.
Note not included. Yeah.
But there are stores out there
Yeah.
So have I gone here enough? Nope. Should I? I think I should. I really
Yeah,
should
maybe.
see. Now that you can search like that, I don't know. $375 for these two notes. I don't know. That Martha's at least 200.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what size, what grade that is.
Yeah, you're talking about 100 on the one though. So
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I definitely support it because Big Apple. I'm going to change subjects a little bit here. Unless we got, do we have comments we need to react to?
No,
Some people are saying that they're selling or decent notes selling on Instagram. I don't know if you want to go that way to buying in social media.
Yeah, I've got an issue.
About that before.
I know
Seems dicey.
I don't want any new friends. I don't want to form relations.
you sound like all of us before we met you, Dan.
But I think you guys know what I get. There's a trust factor, and I know. Let's come back to Tyler on that. Well, let's go to it right now with Instagram, with Facebook, with
So Instagram, I've been buying and selling off Instagram probably since 2016, so about 9 years. And a lot of that comes down to um, like establishing contact, making sure you're both real. Usually there's okay, what's your reference? Who are your references? They either trust you or they contact that reference. They're like, all right, you're good to go. And then you go through with the sale. They'll send you money. You send the tracking, and that's that. It's pretty simple. I like it, but there have also been occasions where, I almost got scammed. There's one time years ago, I bought a note. I bought a $1 Hawaii emergency note. Um, from a guy while I was deployed overseas in Japan. And when I looked at the package, 4 months ago, I got a different note than the one that I bought.
Ooh.
And luckily, the guy, he, I think I bought like a VF20 and it was raw. And he felt so bad that he wound up sending me a PMG 53
Wow.
Hawaii note instead. But it's like those things you don't have the same kind of security. So that's something to keep in mind.
and there is no security. It's just relationship based, which can be. I get it, but that's where you know. That's one of the best things about eBay, by the way. I mean, it's like if you don't get it in the mail, you're probably going to get your money back.
Yeah.
It's like so that's that. There is a peace of mind, and when you complain about, and I'm one of the first ones to complain about eBay costs, but it's like if a note is booking at $100 and you're charging 130, 140, 150, I'm still okay with that, with your costs, things like that. But don't come crying to me about, oh, the costs of eBay are so much when you got brick and mortars out there that are
Right.
spending the money that are actually doing something for our local economy and national. So sorry.
Yep.
But going to Big Apple. So, let's switch gears a little bit here. I've heard rumblings, to be honest, that PMG is having some issues. And that's
you got to go to me first. Why don't you go to somebody else?
And after saying that, I get my notes graded by PCGS Banknote, but not because I'm in love with PCGS Banknote. They were literally 30% cheaper for 70% of the notes, to get graded. So I went that direction. But I don't care. I really don't. I hate PCGS currency. The old ones, I'll cut those out as fast as I can. But I've just heard through the grapevine that they're struggling. And to me, I'll say this is disappointing. We as currency collectors need to have at least two grading services that are strong and competent. That is important for our industry. The competition is a good thing for us. With that said, Big Apple, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. You want to share it?
Share what?
Your story? Or do you want to wait?
No.
Oh, wait, I put him on the spot, and I apologize for that.
No. Nobody ever puts me on the spot. Forget about it. I don't. Not me. Actually, you're talking about the PCGS, correct? That I cut out.
Yep.
Okay. So I was talking to Ontario. So let me just pull it out. I'm sorry, I got to pull it out,
Well,
guys.
I'm going to put you on speaker view so we can see it.
Oh, Maro, forget about it. Why you got to put me on?
Because you're a good-looking man, and I'm attracted to you, and I'm not ashamed to say that.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Well, see you guys later.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know about this. Oh, I don't.
Why? Why do you have to take it that way?
I don't know. Well, let me
Dan,
just.
there's loving collecting, and then there's loving collectors. We're gonna try to stay in your lane of loving collecting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I cut this note out, right?
Uh,
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
make me bigger if you want.
Hold
That's
on,
what
I'm
she
going to
said.
see if I can spotlight
You blow
you.
me up. That's what she said
Yeah.
over there.
And spotlight. Okay.
There you go.
Okay, so a lot of people know that I have the 1394s graded. I have 8 of these, all different ones, obviously. So which I'm going to actually show. Let me just quickly show. So I know this is comic currencies. I'm going to just kind of show it, which is really not the right one to show, but I'm going to show it because I'm going to put the condom on it, by the way. Sorry about that. Here we go. This was one of them I picked up, right?
Wow, DBR Currency sold that note?
No. So all the new 1394s now have the Big Apple collection.
Nice.
Now, this note is sold already. I sold it to somebody because I picked one up in a higher grade. So I bought this. I didn't hit the guy over the head. The guy's a friend of mine. We had to sit down. I figured, let me just give this guy a good deal. We'll have a sit down. But anyway, I gave this note to him. It came back. I had this graded. And obviously there's edge damaging on the note, which was okay. But I cut this one out. I spoke to Ontario and I said, Ontario, what do you think? Because all my 1394s are in PMG. I like PMG. But now I'm to the point where fuck G. I'm sorry. My it's a long time. Holy shit. The New York is coming out of me. I'm sorry. Hold on. The Hell's Kitchen is coming directly out of me right now. But anyway, I even spoke to Ontario. Ontario said, yeah, I cut it out. I'm saying, Ontario, you're right. I'm going to cut it out. So I cut it out. And I sent it to PMG. I figured, hey, it's a 64 details, no problem. There was an internal. Do you know what these Mamalukes over here did, PMG? I tell you right now, I'm so disgusted with them. I can't even tell you. They gave this note. It had a repair, which was fine. I knew it was coming back because the repair was not this note, but the repair was on it. Fortunately, I don't have the note. Do I have it? Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone. Sorry, guys. Just give me 1 second. I didn't know Dan was going to put me on the spotlight.
Yeah.
Son of a Brooklyn Bridge. What am I going to tell you? This guy is unbelievable. But forget about it.
And I still don't care.
Yeah. Okay. This was the note. This was the note in here. This was the note.
All right.
So this was the note that I had. And it was a 1394. And of course, it just said internal repair. The internal repair, I don't know if I could show it. It was right here, right where the J is. You can see it right there. There's a little dab.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little internal. Okay, no problem. I figured, listen, this note is going to 64. Okay, may come down. Repair may come down as a 63. I'm okay. I bought this on Stacks and Bowers. Do you know what these Mamalukes did over here? These guys gave it a 40. I don't have the notes coming tomorrow. It's supposed to. It dropped to a 40. Wow. Fuck you with the 40. What are you talking about? I'm sorry, Dan. I'm really sorry. I'm getting emotional now just thinking about it. Then I hold on. I got to take a blood pressure pill. Hold on. I can't believe it came back as a 40. I said a 40. I called them and I told them. I said, are you kidding me? Why did that note get a 40? I said, do you guys not follow your own grading scale? It says 40. It says folds. There's no folds. Where'd you guys see? Who the fuck graded this? Stevie Wonder? What are you guys nuts? Are you guys kidding me? oh, well, we stand by our graders and this and that. I'm like, you guys stand up. I'm saying, I'm going to just tell you right now. Let me tell you, I'm going to take this, I'm going to cut this fucking note out and I'm sending it back to PCGS. Okay. Fortunately, I want to tell you when I do it live, I'm going to call you guys and I want you guys to look at me live while I'm doing it. Then I'm going to also talk bad shit about you guys because I don't care. You're talking to a guy who's born and raised in New York, and you think I give two shits about what PMG? I'm a customer. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm on a
No,
red
I mean,
page.
this is,
I
I
gotta
mean,
pull out the
this
bat. Forget about it. Ah,
I
anyway,
never go on rants.
I'm
ever.
I'm just I'm just really pissed. It came back as a 40, guys. I'm gonna do the unboxing, and I'm gonna tell you, I showed it. I was gonna release the other video that I did. I cut it out of here. There are no creases. I looked. I showed it. I even put the light behind it. There was nothing. If PCGS gave it a 64, how the fuck did these guys give it a 40? Who was grading it? Who?
All
You're gonna
right.
tell me three of your guys looked at it and said, "Yeah, a 40. Yeah, a 40." Are you kidding me?
It's nuts.
All right, Big Apple, I got a question because this
Yeah,
is something that I
hold
never
on.
do. Okay.
All right.
I've never cut a note out. I've never sent one in for resubmission.
Yeah.
Whatever it says, it says.
Try it out
Why
one day.
why would you cut the note out? Why not just send it the way it was in for resubmission? Are you hoping to get a better grade without
No.
them seeing the
No.
64? Tell
Well,
me about that.
Okay. Here's the thing. PMG is a big company, just as much as PCGS. Why do I want to give? Which was two things. One, I didn't want to really see the detail because they might have given it in that. But let me give you the note. I want to see how good you guys are. How about that? I gave it to you. I gave it to you on Grady. You don't know what these people have. You don't know what they put, but you give it a 40. And what are you going to tell me? What's a 40 to a 64? I just gave it to you. You looked at it and you said, yeah, it's a 40. Are you kidding me?
By the way, I'm going to make a couple observations on the note, which I saw the good pictures of, and then looking at being on with the Big Apple, there are no folds in that note, not one. But to answer
There's no
Stu's
folds.
question, yeah, I get it. I mean, I hate the PCGS currency holders so bad. One, because they're beat up, they're ugly, they make the note look bad. So for again, my notes, right, Steve? I mean, this is for me. Would I take a $10,000 note and probably do that? No. But for my notes that are most of what I'm doing are 300 under, yeah. But it was extremely rare. They were cutting out of a few legacy holders, a few PCGS. It was less than 5 for me. But I get where Big Apple is going. You run into coin collectors, and I get it. I want all PCGS holders. I want all NGC holders. That doesn't bother. I could care less. PCGS, PMG, I don't care.
The other question I have is you say it's coming back. You haven't gotten it back. It's coming back, and it's coming back a 40. Is it coming back a 40 details, or is it coming back a 40 straight?
It's coming back with a repair. It just says repair. That's it. Just repair.
Okay, but you're no longer getting a net grade.
No.
Net grade is what PMG.
No net grade. Yeah.
No net grade, but they still say internal repair. I gave you the note just so you can look at it. Grade it the way I think you should be able to grade it. And the reason why is because all the PMGs, all the 1394s have Big Apple. And I set them in to get reholded for it to have the pedigree on it for Big Apple collection.
Right.
This note, as it looks, are you kidding me? Got a 20 and look at it. Look at it. You're talking about a note that has no creases whatsoever. I mean, it's as straight as a 64. The problem is PMG lost their people. That's what it is.
Yep.
And you have people that are just
That's the
grading
word on the
notes just to
street.
grade.
That is the word on the street.
It
Dr.
is the word on the street. And they are located in Sarasota. I used to live in Sarasota. And I will second the motion, Senator, that they are having problems.
And PMG, I mean, it's like, okay, so another note that I got this week, random, or this weekend, it's a scarce note. It's a Minneapolis Federal Reserve Bank note. Because thanks to Stu Plubeck, I'm putting a little mini collection of star notes from 28, 29, and 34s.
Goody.
I just want one of each color. Well, the Minneapolis FRBNs, and this is where talking to someone, by the way, Dean, can make you spend more money. Because the Minneapolis FRBN is literally twice as much as a lot of the other Federal Reserve banknotes. But whatever, and he was right. He says, he's like, Dan, you're a Minneapolis collector. You can't have all your Minneapolis notes and then here's a random, Alice or whatever.
Well, I know what you're collecting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that made sense. So, I get that.
We just got where is Andy in this conversation? Yeah, I think Andy.
I don't put Andy on the spot either. But with PMG, there are benefits. I saw in one of the comments, there are benefits to PMG. Their population report is really nice to have. It's only for PMG, but it is a nice reference tool. They do some things that are good that PCGS doesn't do yet. Although I will question the PMG because it ties back to my star note that I got. He had a note on it, highest. It was top pop. Well, I wrote that sticker like 8 years ago. So there's like 5 notes graded higher for the Minneapolis Star Note FRBN. All right. But PMG's report, by the way, didn't have 4 of them on there, which I thought was really weird. And 2 of the grades of 55 was in one of those older PMG holders. So I'm like, okay, PMG, are you updating your pop report?
That's weird.
So word to the wise, don't trust the pop report because there was 4 notes out of 17 that were not listed on an FR number. Sorry. So just
that is a really good point, Dan. Like, just a quick side note there that I started to ignore top pop altogether because grading is still so insane. So I had 2 top pops. They're no longer top pops because there's just so many people are sending stuff in to get graded. You might as well ignore it.
Well, that 2017,
in my opinion,
the 2017A trinary really is not going to.
No, they were. One was in 1995. It's just people are finding stuff. So yeah.
Well, and what Big Apple said is very important here. There's been a degrading of the quality of the inter-rater reliability of the graders. You should be able to take 6 graders from either service and get within at least 3 points, plus or minus. To be off by 20, there's a problem with inter-rater reliability. I mean, it's a reliability issue. And now you've got a trust issue. And now you've got a degrading of trust.
I mean, what's the hallmark of a 40, right? 3 folds, right?
Yep.
There are no folds in that note, folks. There are no folds. And just seeing the note and seeing really good images and video of it, there's not 20 degree grades of handling on that note. By the way, I do have to give a shout out. I saw somebody just joined in. Hidden. I'm going to make a quick plug. Hidden numismatist. Now, he does a lot of coin, but he does some currency too.
He does.
And he goes down the rabbit hole of history, and I like it a lot. So, hey, thanks for joining in, Hidden numismatist. I appreciate it. So, anyways, sidebar done.
We have over 50 people watching now too, by the way.
Doc, sorry about the rampage on me. Sorry about that. I normally don't act like that in front of people.
So listen, every right to be. I mean, the problem is that people are relying on that don't maybe have the level of experience with hundreds of notes as maybe we have seen. And what are they paying for?
Well,
at the end of the day,
I mean, I will defend the graders to a certain degree up until this moment of seeing that happen.
That's not good.
I mean, because I'm looking at, come on, we can all question a grade or two, But I mean, like how many notes have you handled, physically been in?
That's what I'm talking about.
We haven't seen, I doubt I've had 3 or 4 of the same type of any note raw in my hand. Okay. So tell me if you've had that and you're going to argue, it should be a 35. No, it should be a 53. Give me a break. Going back and forth, we can all wish or this or that, but this one, that's really
Indefensible.
my foundation of the trust issue.
Yeah.
Is the trust, Dr. Wise. I mean, it really, really has.
And that kind of stresses as collectors, you really need to hone and sharpen your ability to grade yourself.
Yes.
And you also must buy the note. You must not buy the holder. You have to enjoy the note. Doesn't matter if it's a 12 and maybe it would grade a 20 at PMG instead of PCGS, whatever. You have to enjoy the note you're buying. You have to like the note you're buying. And that way, whatever that number is that appears on the holder, it's not going to bother you.
That's a great point. I've recently upgraded a couple notes of mine, and I upgraded them based on the holder. And then once I got the note in my possession and compared it to the note I already owned, the 2 notes I purchased, no, they aren't better than what I currently have, even though the numbers say different. I've got one that grades a 20 that I've had for a while, and it has great eye appeal. And then I bought one that was a 25, and side by side, the 20 has better eye appeal. So I'm just going to sell the 25 and keep the 20. You make such a good point about buying the note. Don't get locked into what it says on the holder, because as we're all learning right now, you most certainly can cut a note out and send it back in for resubmission.
Big Apple, you were
buy the note.
Sorry, Steve.
I was going to say, I mean, I could agree with Tyler and Stubeck, but sometimes when we are looking at the notes, when you're looking at a note, you're looking at also a grade too. That there becomes a value now. No.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, I know.
Because
I agree. Yeah.
because I'm going to say, if I would have kept that note, if I don't cut that note out of that 40, the value has dropped from what I bought it at to what it's going to be at a 40. Somebody's say, oh, okay, there's a repair. Sure, there was a repair, but the note itself, it's not,
He's not saying it, folks. I'm going to say it for him. It's anywhere between $1,300 to $1,500 value is what Big Apple lost out.
Yeah.
Right.
That's huge.
I mean, that note I purchased on Stacks, it was, I'll tell you, I don't like to really discuss numbers with anybody. It was 1920. That was with the premium that I bought on Stacks and Bowers. Now, there was also another 1394, the Red Seal, that was on Stacks and Bowers. I bought mine on eBay, which was a 63 EPQ that came back, which is surprising that it came back from PMG.
60.
But that was the other note, Dan, right? The one I showed you, debossing.
I mean, I want to go back to Tyler's comment about the note and tie in Stu's comment about why I would cut a note out. Again, cutting notes out. I want the note. I didn't care if it, and you could argue, okay, it was a 15 and went to a 12. In my world, that's not a big deal. But I didn't care if it went from a 20 to a 15 or that. I liked my note. That's why I'm sending it in to be put in a better holder. But,
right. I like the holder PMG. I do like. Unfortunately, I'm so angry with them right now. I'm not really looking to support them. I actually we're talking to Dan. I already filled out my new submission form. I'm just waiting for the note so I can resend it back and let them get reholder to PCGS. Now, I'm not looking for a different grade. I'm just looking for, it's going to probably come back as the same grade anyway. What difference does it make? They're going to see it, but I'm not, obviously I'm just going to say, hey, now I have to do Big Apple collection, but, obviously.
All right.
Yes. So
I'm going to go here. I didn't know if we'd have an open spot to do it so that nobody don't know really know what's coming. Speaking of, grades and Stu, you brought it up. Different grades could look very, same grade looks very different. And this is where my advice, my little shout out from my experience this weekend and getting a bucket list note for me that was it stretched my boundaries. It's the most expensive note I've ever bought, to be honest. But it was on my bucket list. And if let me share this. This is really going to bore you guys. All right, so everybody can see that, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Okay, so this is my note, all right, 15, and I got it for 2,100. All right. So it was there, and this is exactly what I look for. And yes, it does have details. We'll get to that in a little bit. But it just is, to me, it's got really good eye appeal, good color. The serial numbers are still very good shape. The seal, which is the number one thing that tends to go down on educationals, just because it's printed on such a dark note, a lot of ink behind it. But then, the reverse masked rust was the comment that got it details. We think maybe it was somewhere down in here that the rust was removed in this discoloration or whatever. But again, I didn't care. It was, to me, it was about, this is a good looking note. It's affordable. I'm stretching. It was a big purchase for me. But then going on to like action current, I started out with eBay action currency. Look at this note. It's again, same grader, same 15. They're asking 2,000, $100 less on eBay, but notice I paid 2,100 straight out at a show. No tax. That was it. It was $2,100. So you can, that's a heck of a different 15 than mine. Then you get to this one, they wanted more on eBay, which by the way, to see 15s that are within reasonable on eBay, it gave me a ray of hope here that these are still probably listed on eBay right now. But this one, it's got some issues. I don't think it's as good looking as the note.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No.
This one is better looking note, another 15. Now they want 2,500 for it. Little faded, but still, it's a good looking note. For 15. No comments.
There's a little discussion in the chat about AI grading. I don't know if you want to chat about that for a little bit, but I would love to see it, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Well, let's go there because I'm just wrapping up. By the way, and here's probably one of the worst looking 15s right now. And now we're getting into that. Wow, $2,800 for that when you've got other 15s out there. By the way, FR numbers really don't play a price point. A little bit, but not $700 worth. So
Tyler's bringing up something.
Yeah, Tyler, I'm gonna put you.
Oh, nice, Tyler.
Oh, that is nice.
So I wanted to bring this note up. I got to go to work here in a couple minutes, but before I head out, I wanted to show this note. So this is a First Charter 50, which is clearly damaged and it's got a whole lot of stuff going on here. It's in an old PCGS holder. And it's got a 20. Now, this is a note that I think I have to cut out. Just because it's in this old holder, you can tell it's all scuffed up. But, would this get a 20? I'm not sure. I don't know if it would. It might get a 50.
No, but they are more
sorry.
nationals, but
I'm sorry. You're going to save that note for years once you cut it out of that, right? Because there's so much air. Yeah.
This is my note for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Big Apple's got a point. What he's talking about, air is getting into that note.
Right. So you're going to save that note. Even if it drops down to 20, I could, I would still save the note because you're going to save that note. I mean, listen, Tyler, talk to me. We can make an offer. We can have a sit down if you don't want it. Just let me know, but I'm just telling you, it's a beautiful note and it's a hard note to get, right?
Yep.
I mean, you don't see that note. You're not going to see that note on a Tuesday night at Heritage.
No.
To find that.
No.
So there's a good point there in the comments, though. It says, so does he cut it out and send it off, or does he send it like that and be great? I would send it as is to be.
I would send it as is.
Yeah, because
that way,
if you look at it,
they know what you're trying to get.
It's damaged, but if you really look at it, I mean, it's there. It's not like super wrinkly like a VG.
Right.
It's toned. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I would what you're saying, Stubeck, you're saying to cross it over?
Yeah, I'd send it in. I wouldn't cut it out. I would send it to PMG.
Cross it over.
Yeah.
You would cross
Yeah.
it over.
Tyler,
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Tyler, what's the FR? What is that? 447?
447. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a very
That's a good looking note, Tyler.
The 50.
Tyler, I
appreciate
don't
it.
like to. I don't like to ask. But,
Okay,
I mean,
well, I mean, it's easy. Go ahead, Big Apple.
no, I wanted to see. You know, I mean, I'm more than sure he.
mean,
you
I
know, by the
paid-
way, I'm looking
I paid $62.50 for it.
62.50. I figure you're up there. So you know what, Tyler? I would do what Stubeck said. I would cross it over. Why? To let the idiot know, whoever you send it to, that that's what they had, right?
Yep.
I
Yep.
should have done that with the
Smart.
PCGS, but I didn't. No big deal. You live and learn. But the point is that you can't trust some of these grading companies. You know,
Yeah,
and
a lot of
I
people are
walked in
saying
there.
that.
I gave you something blind. I showed you something and I said grade it, and they came back
Yeah.
with 40.
Yeah.
So when you're spending 62.50, yeah, I would tell you cross it over, because that's gonna be
I mean, the question is, though, I mean, it's hard with that note and that holder.
Yeah.
Because if it's in a 20, if it's 20 now in that holder, I don't believe it's 20 based on what you just showed. I'd say it's probably going to be a 15 in my guess.
Yeah.
well,
Does that hit you financially? But are you going to get a 20? Is someone going to buy that at a 20 because of the condition, even though it says 20 in an old PCGS currency holder?
Exactly. And I've seen recent auction results. Ontario and I have been hitting
Yep.
this, recently. They command less money.
Yep.
They just do.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah,
I
well,
have to step out and head off to work so I can make some more money to buy some more notes.
That's right.
Rock, have a good evening, my friend, and thank you. Thanks for sharing.
All right.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
All right.
I was
Left
going to say one thing about that note. People don't realize how rare those first charter 50s are.
Right.
Now, there's only 35 of those things known. They're rarer than the hundreds.
Yeah.
So that's an extremely rare note.
Yeah, I mean, but it's easy to spend other people's money like Ontario tries.
Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely.
100%. I'm just scanning comments.
It's too bad. I just want to just ask. So what is a limit that people have to spend money, right? On a note. What's a good limit, right? I mean, obviously Tyler got 62.50, so he's not scared to, I don't know if he paid for 62.50 or he robbed the person. We didn't get that far because he left already. So
I mean, that's a question.
Right.
right.
Comes down to budget.
Yeah, it's your budget.
Personal budget.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to buy $10,000 notes, you're going to have to save $10,000. But and to see if that's financially, doable for you. If you only make $30,000 a year, you're not buying $10,000 notes.
Nah.
I mean,
It is interesting because I'll buy a $200 note or a $300 note, or I'll buy 2 or 3 $100 notes on eBay without thinking about it. And then at the end of the week, I go, "Oh wow, I just spent $800 on notes."
Yeah.
Well, that's true too.
$800 on one note, I would be going, "Oh, I got to slow down." So it's funny how it works when you spread it out over a bunch of different notes compared to one.
Yeah.
Now, would it make sense if I'm sorry, Dan. I know.
No. Go ahead.
To sell the notes now. Now you have the money to buy that big note.
Right.
Well, and that's it's like that to me, Big Apple. It's fair. Like for those out there, guys, I'm not a pauper. I mean, this is what my wife lets me do. And she's like, no, you only got so much. And dude, she wasn't thrilled this weekend, but I'm like, I'm doing it. So
You're still in the house.
It's still in the house, but
you're still in the house. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
I've been collecting banknotes since 1999. That's my biggest purchase was yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, And I think I've been able to put together a good eye appeal collection, and I really don't care what other people think, to be honest with you, because I like my notes. I like having,
as long as you're happy, which is the main
and
thing, right?
when I do the Rare Note Spotlight series, I had the pleasure of there's one main guy and another this minor guy, but I mean, holding doing a video on the highest graded Black Eagle period.
Yeah.
And to see those notes, can I afford that? I mean, coming up, I mean, it'll be a while because there's like 80 notes for him. I mean, he's got $1,000 1882 gold certificate that I was able to film and document. That's arguably a $400,000 to $600,000 note. And one of the best things about having him as a currency friend, you know what? He puts his pants on one leg at a time too.
Right.
It is the same game. It's just he's doing different notes, different grades, different pedigrees, different history. And yeah, will I ever get that? No. Will he ever get a Federal Reserve banknote with a brown star on it? No, because he doesn't want it. But it doesn't matter. And that's the fun, I think, in supporting, Big Apple buys notes that I'll never be able to afford. And I'll be his biggest cheerleader, to tell him to go get some more aluminum cans for that poor woman on the corner.
I'm actually next month I have a coin show to go to, and Convict Currency and we both go to the coin show. And like I always talk with him, and I think I'm actually going to bring, and I've done this before. I brought silver to trade for currency with the dealers. With a dealer that's that has both items, and I'll make a trade. I'm actually going to now this time bring gold, because gold that I bought years ago, it's so high now. A lot of the currency, like for instance, the biggest note that I was planning to do was the 1880 legal tender, $50. Dan, you know which one. Terry, you know which one too.
Yeah.
That's a note that I've been dying for, and I want to pick it up as a 30-35, right? So I know that note. So I figured if I get rid of some of the gold, I'll purchase it, right? I don't mind getting rid of the gold because it's plenty of it, so I have no problem with that. It's not that I'm taking the gold and just spending the money doing something else, going to a strip joint, you know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm doing. I'm actually taking my money and buying.
I know Chippendales will miss you.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm just saying,
but we got a question, Oz banknotes, and I just answered it. If you guys don't feel comfortable, I'll take a pause. What's the most expensive banknote you have purchased?
Me?
If you don't want to answer that question, we'll take a pause and just move along. Because I get it. People don't want to talk about that. That's okay.
I bought a Lazy Deuce. I think I paid almost $3,000 for it.
Yeah.
My Canadian chartered bank was about $950 altogether. That's the most expensive note I've purchased. I plan on getting more that are expensive.
Right, but
I got a 1900 10,000 1225H 64.
Oh
boy.
Nice.
Oh boy.
And that one was up there. And then the 50 that you were talking about, Apple, I got the 155 Friedberg on the 1880 50 in a 20.
Yeah, that's
a big
there's
one.
only, I think,
not many.
No, there's not. That number, that Friedberg is pretty lean. Let me look. Hold on.
I mean, that one, by the way, Ontario did a video on that note, and that's the Benjamin Franklin 50. It's a classic big boy note.
It's a beauty.
It's just
there's 8 of them, and 3 of them are in the Federal Reserve hand, so they're permanently impounded.
I mean, that's one of those notes, by the way, for everybody. I mean, that maybe you could reach up and grab, the more popular, more numerous ones. That would be what, $3-4 grand?
mean the 164, the one that's
Yeah. Am I off on that?
What
on the
the
grade. Depends on the grade.
Depends on
Depending
the
on the
grade.
grade, but I think that's a sleeper, and I don't do investment really in mine, but
Oh.
there's these notes out there that just kind of go unnoticed, and I think that's one of them.
The 155 I bought as I just love the note, but I also bought it as an investment, knowing that
Yeah.
it's rarefied air.
Yeah.
Stu, you were going to say
Yeah.
something.
I paid $2,500 for two different notes. I paid $2,500 for my $5 educational, and I paid $2,500 for my poker chip as well. But I mean, I've got notes that are my $1,000 note I only paid $1,800 for, and that's worth about $3,800.
Well, and here's the value, and I'm going to go back to Dr. Wise, your $10,000 1900 gold certificate, graded 64. And then I always think, Steve, I'm just going to come to your house and steal that note someday. Because his is really beat up, but it's got the story, it's got smoke, fire marks, whatever. I mean, this is the difference in, you not only have the grade, this is what's great about this hobby. You can go for the really, really pristine notes. There it is. That needs to get graded, my friend. You got to put that in a grade.
I don't know. I'd be afraid to have that graded with all the burn marks and everything else on there.
No.
But that note, like Steve's, is beat up, torn up, holes in it, burn marks.
Fire damage. Yeah.
The fire damage that's it. That's the story. That's what's so cool. So those two notes between Stu's and Dr. Wise rank equally to me as far as important.
And then you pair it with the photos that were taken of the firemen in the listen, I started looking, I mean, I went way down the rabbit hole and started pulling some of the archival photos. So I've got 3 of them coming of the firefighters in the stairwell and then the people standing outside. I mean, incredible. That's part of the sizzle for me, is having that extra that tells the story about that note and what it went through.
But I think, and again, getting back to values, you collect what you can, collect what you want. And that's just it. When I first got into collecting, it was coins, and I felt like shamed for not. And I hate that. I hate it, folks. It's just, you shouldn't be embarrassed for collecting what you can afford.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, collect what's in your pocket, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't.
It's your love affair,
That's right.
Right? Like, that's how I look at it. Like, I've got other notes that are, you guys would probably laugh. You're like, well, why? It's my love affair with the note. Yep. So don't ever be embarrassed for what
I'll share something with you. I would collect a lot of 1/10 gold American Eagles, right? I would just stack them. You get 10 of those, you go get yourself an ounce. You know what I'm saying? Very simple. You just purchase, and you could purchase out small. Just like, even when you're trading out with currency, I could probably get rid of 2 notes just for the 1 note, even when you go to a coin show, right? Or to an auction, right?
Right.
You could do that. You could negotiate. I mean, there's always a good negotiator out there. Somebody's always saying, hey, I'll take those 2 for that 1 note, right? I've done it.
Right. No, I mean, that's, I know I will get to a point where I'm like, I can no longer buy bigger notes, but I've also had a plan for that.
Right.
Because I would like to upgrade. I'd like to upgrade notes right now, but I'm not going to until I complete my sets that I want to.
Right.
I'm going to go back to the question somebody brought up, AI. And AI may or may not work for anything. No comment on what's happening with AI, although I would say continue to support your non-AI channels, by the way. I know all of us who are in our circle, we go to a lot of work. We put together. Stu actually has to think for more than 45 minutes a day. No, it takes time. You try coming up with top 10 lists every week. You try coming up with a tip tip of the day every Saturday. It ain't easy. It's not easy. But with regards to grading, that might work for coins, but here's the difference with bills. You have to touch them. You have to feel that Talio print.
That's where the EPQ comes from.
Yep. You cannot grade a note without touching it with a human. And so for that reason, I can't see how AI is going to do that anytime soon. I'll never say never, right? But it's certainly not in the near future, where coins it probably could go to that. I don't know anything about that technology and how far they are or not. I'm not, Daniel with Coin Help You bitching about my bad camera. But nonetheless.
Just to answer a quick comment.
I'm sorry.
I checked my paper notebook. Somebody asked about my Lazy Deuce. I got that for $16.50, so that's definitely not the most expensive one that I had.
Dan, when Subek was just talking about how you have to feel the note, remember the 1394 that I just recently came back, and I got, of course, and I haven't posted it out, but it actually came back 63 EPQ. Sorry, just can't get my camera right, and it did actually come back with embossing. So, and I even told Dan when I cut it out, I actually felt the whole note. I said, Dan, am I right, Dan? Did I not tell you?
Yeah, right. No, you did.
I said, nope, this note is definitely coming back. And it came back. And even though these son of a broken bridges graded this the proper way, and then they did the other thing. But we're not going to go back to that. We don't want to go back down that rabbit hole again. Forget about it.
Yeah.
So,
well, boys, I'm sorry to interrupt. I got to get going here. But Dr. Wise, thank you so much for joining tonight. As always, Big Apple, Ontario, Stu, Dan, you're all awesome. Have a good night, everybody. I can't believe we were up to 52. I think at one point we hit 52 guys, so that's fantastic.
I hope you hit that like button, by the way, because
please do.
I know nobody likes Dan. I got it. It's hard to hit that like button, but
we understand.
Try to help the guy out.
But I got to do this before we completely shut down. Let's see. I'll just share my whole screen. Oh, I had this up. I got an email from my Mike.
Wow.
He just picked this up. That's a fun note. 6 1/4. Stu, don't you have something like that?
Yes, I do. Yep, that's the lowest or weirdest denomination I have. 6 1/4 cents. Yeah.
I got to show this and. There we go. Here we go.
Hey, there we go.
There's the grandson, Clifford. Clifford. Yes.
He's got your hair.
Notice the Santa Claus beard keeps coming in.
That's it.
So here we're talking about what I'm saying right now. The difference between a silver certificate and a gold certificate is he was into it. Let me tell you.
I love it. What the hell are you talking about? Yes. Yeah, you got that first picture that you were looking at the first one you sent. I don't know if
the what?
The first one you sent. The baby.
Oh, okay.
I think I told Dan, I said, Dan is looking at the child like it's a piece of currency. Which one was it, Dan?
Piece of currency.
Yeah, what was it, Dan? No, that wasn't it. That one, no, it wasn't that one.
This one?
No, it was you were holding it. You were holding the baby.
I didn't. Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
Okay.
Have that on this round here. But you know what? This has been fun. Get back to my Zoom so I can stop share. There we go. There we go.
All right.
I hope everybody enjoyed it. I really appreciate you guys coming on as always. And it worked pretty well with the number of people we had on. Dr. Wise, sincerely appreciate you coming on.
Would love to be back.
I think you just might be.
I enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
You got to pick apart what you collect and find out what you do. So
yeah, I've got some goodies you guys would enjoy.
Steve, any other comments?
No, everybody that's watching, thanks. We tried to keep up with the comments. A little tougher for us to do because it's our first time doing it. I see Bill just chimed in. How you doing, Bill? Thanks for watching. But yeah, this is fun doing a live like this.
Yeah.
No editing for you.
I mean, I'm doing a quick scan in case we had a real question. Ontario, anything you want to add before
Just again, what Stu said, thanks for everybody, for being here. Enjoyed doing it. I had a lot of fun, learned a couple things. And I did see one question real quick. I think we could all answer real quick. Do we own any autographed notes? Any notes with courtesy autographs?
Courtesy.
I don't own that.
I got the spinner notes, the specimen spinner notes. Those are autographed. That counts, right?
That counts. That's like the best courtesy ever. It's still weird that they did that, though, isn't it weird? I mean,
know.
It's so out of the blue. I do have one in my $1 collections. It was random because I came across it. It was a 1977 $1 bill from Minneapolis, and it was a courtesy autograph. And it was graded, and I'm like, well, it was cheap. So I'm like, well, I'll make that as my 77. So that's the only one I've got. Other than that, I don't have a big interest in them.
No.
Anybody? Bueller?
I don't have one.
And to be honest, they don't, unless
they don't do
it's
anything for me.
Note, it doesn't add to.
No, it's not something I seek out anyway.
It's not. It doesn't add that much value to it, if at all. Yeah, I'm just making sure we got nothing in the comments. We don't. With that, we are going to say goodnight, and it has been a pleasure. Sincerely, this is fun. I think we might keep this format. Why not go live? Let us know in the comments and things like that. It's like, we can't. It's harder to show notes and things like that, but that's okay too. So,
let me just quickly. Doc, by the way, it was a pleasure meeting you. By the way, for the first time.
Absolutely.
Stu Beck, it's been a pleasure going up live with you and
Ontario.
Dan, of course, I can't say the same because I do go live on my.
I understand. I might.
I know a lot of times my head is turning over. It's because I'm reading the chat and I'm writing and typing it. So, but I do go live. It is a pleasure being up here, Dan. By the way, it is really great. The knowledge that everybody.
Honestly, it is. Thank you for being part of this.
I have to say, when I met Dan, by the way, real quick, it was really nice, actually, Dan. And I think that you bring a lot to this community. So does everybody else. But I think that you are. I look at it as like the Godfather, right? Like you're the Godfather.
Tribal leader.
Look at it like that because if you really think about it, Dan is the guy that brings everybody together. Forget about it. And I'm just saying because of your videos and everything else. Stu Beck does. But he goes after a lot of guys on eBay. I'm surprised that I'm even surprised that the guy is still living. But I don't really understand. And of course, Ontario and like I said, Doc, it's the first time, but it is a pleasure to be with everybody here and people in the chat.
A lot of fun.
It's great. So
I'll go back to my closing again. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, don't be.
I'm sorry.
But it is. I mean, it is important to support our channels, folks. And if you're thinking about being a YouTube currency channel, just do it. Just do it. I know there's some folks that have been contacting me asking, toiling it. You can get everything in a row forever, and it's still, you're going to have issues, you're going to have problems. So you might as well have them now and get them figured out sooner.
Just pick up your phone and buy a $15 tripod and go to work.
That's right. Yeah. A decent mic and a tripod and lighting, and that's what $50.
Your phone will do most of that. So just
your phone is awesome. But I mean, support these folks. Oz Banknotes has a currency channel.
A collector.
For collector. By the way, he had I wanted to go there. Maybe we will next time. For Collector put out a very interesting, and he's eclectic. I mean, For Collector, dude, you're eclectic.
Hands down.
But your videos, and I would encourage everybody to go to For Collectors and go back on his channel. Man, does he show some unbelievable notes.
Yes.
And
is he still here?
And he's got the history. I don't know if he's still on or not. But these channels, Silver Surfer wasn't on tonight. We were missing him. I didn't hear from him. His weird stuff that he does that's super cool. Anyways, if you find a currency channel, support it. Like, comment, subscribe. It does help currency. And the biggest case we've got to worry is that, we might have to pay more for our currency, but that also means what's sitting in your stack has also increased. There's a benefit. So, and to keep our hobby strong is important. So that's it. We're going to say goodnight.
Bye, guys.